Six Nations, round 4, team of the week. We're here for it. Let's go. All the games are in. France coming away with a brilliant win against Ireland, putting them in the front seat here to take out the championship. And England right on their tail, 1 point behind, but a lot of points difference to make up is the only thing. But obviously, it is France who has the hardest game. They are playing Scotland, but in France, so it's going to be interesting. And also Ireland, they're still with a chance there, right? If there's an upset against France and if there's an upset against England, you know, Ireland can come in there and win it again. So it's a 3-horse race. I'm here for it. I'm happy every team has had a loss. Being a neutral supporter, it's a brilliant tournament this year. Now let's get into the team of the week for round 4. Now, if you do enjoy this sort of content as well, I have to say, I mean, it takes a couple hours to make these videos. Please do like the video if you do like it. You don't have to if you don't want to. And also there's a subscribe button right below the video. All it is a click of your thumb, a click of your mouse. It doesn't cost you anything, but it helps the channel and helps the channel grow so we can put more time into the channel. Because like I said, the end goal of this is just so everyone can talk about rugby. Make it somewhere where people across the whole world can talk about rugby, you know, local competitions, etc., etc. That's what we want. And I want to be on the ground as well, going to the World Cup, going to things like that where we can actually bring the perspective on the ground in the pubs and at the stadium as well. Also, how I do it for my team of the week. So the starting 15 is players that did start for their nation, where the bench that I choose for this, the 23, is actually players that come off the bench. So the players I think made the most impact, did the best job coming off the bench. So it's a little bit different than most people do. They just pick a 23 or just a 15, but 15 for the starters and the bench for bench players coming on. So let's get into it. I'll move my ugly head out the way here and we'll get into the front row. Starting in the front row. So we got Jean-Baptiste Gros. I think he had a brilliant game. Brilliant game for France. Just solid in the scrums, did his job. 9 runs, 8 meters, 1 offload, 9 tackles, 0 missed tackles, with 1 penalty conceded. It's an 8.2 out of 10 for me in 48 minutes for John. And he's been the rock of that scrum, in my opinion. He's just done his job. He's not getting owned in any scrums. He's holding his own. And yeah, sometimes getting that push as well, that second push against the teams as well. And it really showed against Ireland by actually, you know, Irish scrum is solid and Gros held his own against them. So we got in at hooker Dan Sheehan. In a losing effort, he was still brilliant for me, 8.1 out of 10 in 68 minutes. He had 9 runs, 24 meters gained, 2 defenders beaten, and he also scored that try. And that when that try was scored at the start of the second half, you know, you thought, man, Ireland are going to win it here.
Ireland know what they're doing. Possession, so much. The access is going. The line-out required, and the line-out delivers. And Ireland and Dan Sheehan have it at the back. And shoots!
But it wasn't to be. 12 tackles, 0 missed, but 2 turnovers conceded by him in the match. So that's what's an 8.1 out of 10. Then we got Zander Fagerson, 8.1 out of 10 for me as well. 61 minutes played for Scotland. 7 runs, 15 meters, 12 tackles, only 1 miss. And the only reason why it's a bit of a lower rating is 2 penalties conceded, but the amount of rucks he hit, the amount of work he got through, maybe not, you know, with the running and that sort of thing, but his defense and hitting the rucks was brilliant. And the scrummaging as well. Now let's move into the second row. So got Murray Toje. Just again, he's one of those people that gets through his work. Every single game, he's fit. He plays 80 minutes. He's captain now. He has to lead. And yeah, 8.1 out of 10 for me in 80 minutes, full game, 11 runs, 24 meters, 1 defender beaten, 1 turnover conceded, 8 tackles, 0 missed, but also 2 penalties conceded. Now, he does give up a bit of penalties, but the only reason why is because he's constantly hitting that ruck, you know, slowing the ball down, pushing the boundaries, and, you know, sometimes he gets pinned, which can be frustrating, but against a team like Italy, you want to slow down that ball, because they're very dangerous out wide. They're not really going to break you through the middle. So I think he's done his job pretty well. 8.1 out of 10. And then Mikhail Guillard, I think he's been brilliant for France since coming into starting lineup. He kept his starting spot over Miafu, who's just come back from injury. And there's a reason why. He's played brilliantly in both games. 2 runs, 4 meters, 1 defender beaten, 1 turnover, 1 as well. He should have had another one where the ref didn't get the penalty, where he was holding on. So he went in, pretty much held the ball, didn't get the penalty, and then someone else gave the penalty up, and then Ireland kicked in the corner, and that's when Dan Sheehan scored the try. So he was a bit hard done by there. 48 minutes he played, 14 tackles and 0 misses. So absolute clean slate on the defensive side. No penalties given up, 1 a turnover. I mean, brilliant game by him. 8.4 out of 10. So we go into the back row here. Can't even see Ben Earl here. In the back row, so at number 6, I got Jack Morgan. This is a tough one because Francois Croix from France had a brilliant game. Very similar kind of statistics, but he didn't get through the amount of work Jack Morgan did. I actually had Francois Croix starting in at 6, but I had to change it after rewatching that Welsh game and just seeing the amount of work that Jack does. It's just insane. 8.9 out of 10 for me. 80 minutes, he played 9 runs, 23 meters, where Francois Croix didn't have a run at all. 2 turnovers, 1 for Jack Morgan. Also 2 turnovers, 1 for Francois Croix as well. But the difference is Francois Croix had about 14 tackles, I believe, with Jack Morgan 25 tackles with 0 misses. Absolutely insane. He did concede 1 penalty, but with 2 turnovers, 1, he more than made up for it. So brilliant game again by the captain. And you can see every time, he's got that aura about him now where when the attacking team sees him going for a ruck, they are gunning it to try and take him out because they know he's going to steal the ball. In at number 7, since moving to the open side flank, I think Ben Earl has been brilliant. And I mean, he plays there for club, but since moving there to 7 in the last 2 weeks, he's been brilliant. 9 out of 10 for me in 80 minutes, 17 runs, 112 meters gained, 2 clean breaks. He also scored a try to top it off.
22.
Yeah, put on.
Oh, it's been turned on by Ben Curry. And here goes Ben Earl.
5 tackles, no misses, and 1 penalty conceded as well for holding on, which wasn't his fault. It was really the people cleaning out didn't do the job. But just an absolute performance by him again. He's been brilliant in that 7 jersey. And that's the reason why England has been playing so well. It's because of their forwards. Then in at number 8, this was another tough decision. You could have gone with Scotland here. It's a very tough one here. But the amount of work that Faletau got through for Wales, that's the only reason why the game was so close, is because Jack Morgan and Faletau. 9.1 out of 10 for me, which is the highest ranked forward. He had 15 runs, 111 meters. He beat 2 defenders as well. 19 tackles with 0 misses. Just brilliant. The work rate he got through, the rucks he hit, the amount of times he was the clean out, saving them from getting a penalty. Just, yeah, him and Jack Morgan. And then now with Dewey Lake back, the Welsh forward pack is finally looking like the old South. Now we move on to the halves. So we go into number 9. We got Ben White from Scotland. There weren't really any other choices because obviously how I do it, like I said to start, is the starting lineup. I choose for the starting lineup, and then I have the bench for the players who came off the bench. So there was no real other standout number 9s. Ben White, I think, just kept the ball rolling for the backline for the Scots, and that's why they scored those tries. Quick ball, 71 passes in 55 minutes, so that's the most out of any halfback this round in that amount of time. He had 2 runs, 7 meters gained, 1 defender beaten, 2 tackles, 1 miss. 8.1 for me. He did his job, and that's feed the backs. And he did that, and I think he had a brilliant game. And his kicking game was pretty good as well. Then you got Finn Russell for the Scots, 8.7 out of 10 in 61 minutes. And you could see what happened when he went off. The Scots went backwards pretty quick. 3 runs, 0 meters, 1 defender beaten, 2 try assists. I think that's where he really gets it for me. 5 tackles and 1 miss. But it was just the same thing, him and Ben White. I think the Scots just need to realize that's what their job should be, right, from their halves. It's just feed those outside backs, like the one from the Maribor, Darcy Graham, Blair Kinghorn. And they did that in the first 60 minutes against the Welsh, and it really showed. Now we go into the centre positions. The only Italian in this 23 that I've chose, Tommaso Menoncello. Man, I'm a big fan of this guy. There's a reason why he won Player of the Tournament last year. 8.8 out of 10 for me. He had 7 runs, 21 meters, 1 clean break. He beat 4 defenders. He also scored a try.
Deserved that. Here's Pasarello. Has the ball. Federico Ruzza is missed out. And it is Tommaso Menoncello.
With a brilliant hole running. 7 tackles with 2 misses. But he also won 2 turnovers as well. The guy's a beast. Seriously, he's... You know, if he was surrounded by a couple players as well, I think he would be absolutely brilliant. Then you got in at number 13, Tommy Freeman. So he started on the wing, but because of Ollie Lawrence's injury, he pushed in the centre, where Marcus Smith went back to fullback. With Tommy Freeman moving into centre, he had a brilliant game, 15 runs, 76 metres, 3 clean breaks, 5 defenders beaten, 4 offloads, also scored a try.
And they've only made one of them count. Here's Elliot Daly. 6. There's one at Jason. Freeman's going to get there first. Freeman takes it, and he's got another.
4 tackles, no misses. But the only reason why it's 8.5 out of 10 is because he had 4 turnovers, unfortunately. We're moving to the outside backs. There's only one choice at left wing, and that is Louis Biarré. Absolutely brilliant for France. He was the difference. Like, every time he touches the ball, you kind of wonder what's going to happen. Is this going to be a try? You just never know. And it's brilliant to see that he's excelling. You know, being so small, and he's still excelling at the top level. Good to see. 9.2 out of 10 for me, which is the top back and top player actually in the whole lineup. 5 runs for 40 meters, 2 clean breaks, 2 tries, which was a brilliant solo effort.
The refreshed French pack arrives. They arrive in numbers, and they've got players out wide. Peno's on one of those runs of his. Biarré reaches to the sky, gathers and plays, and Prendergast goes after it, and Biarré!
Down the left side, absolute brilliant try. 8 tackles with no misses as well. So he does his defensive work as well. In on the right wing, Darcy Graham for me. Brilliant under the high ball. 11 runs, 51 meters. He had a clean break, 2 defenders beaten. He scored a try. He had a try assist as well.
4 games now, Hugh Jones. Man with 16 tries in the Six Nations. Russell. Oh, that is a different class.
6 tackles of 1 miss. 8.4 out of 10. Not a bad footstep. I think he could be higher, actually. I probably should put him at like 8.7, I think. He's always just a consistent rugby player, and he deserves it all. Then you got at fullback Blair Kinghorn. Another tough one here. You could have gone here with Hugo Keenan from Ireland, who had a brilliant game as well, but Blair Kinghorn, man. 9 out of 10 for me. 14 runs, 96 meters, 2 clean breaks, 6 defenders beaten. He scored 2 tries.
Full of tears during the anthem. Darcy Graham. And here's Blair Kinghorn. He's going to score you.
With a couple of brilliant ones. A tackle as well. 1 missed with 2 turnovers conceded. To me, he's just a complete fullback. And at the minute, he has to be pretty much the fullback for the British and Irish Lions, you would think. Just every time the ball gets kicked down, he's counter-attacking. He's making the right choice every single time. And he's also that long and rangy, so he can do those offloads as well. Then we move on to the bench. So I got Dewey Lake in at the backup hooker. 8.7 for me out of his 35 minutes. A great return. 6 runs, 8 meters, 11 tackles of 0 misses. But since he came on, you know, that tide switched. He really got the Welsh back in that game. I think the Scots just really turned off. It's 2 years in a row now that the Scots have allowed them, 2 or 3 late tries. So, you'd be pretty disappointed as a Scottish fan, but you still got the win with the bonus point. Then you got Cyril Bai, who was just brilliant for me. Got into his work, 3 runs, 2 defenders beaten, 9 tackles, no misses, and a turnover 1 as well. And the scrummaging, when he came on, was just solid as well. 32 minutes he played, 8.5 out of 10. Dorian Aldegheri for France, 7.8 out of 7.8 in his 32 minutes. 8 tackles, 1 miss. No real other tight head prop really stood out for me on the bench. So went with him. He did his job. He scrummed, made his tackles. That's all you really want. You know, most props these days, you just want him to make a tough run here and there. Want him to make a tackle and just win you the ball in the scrum and in the lineouts. Then we got in at number 19, Emmanuel Miafu. Man, when he came on, you know, obviously their version of the bomb squad, where they do a lot of changes in the forward pack. There was 7-1 split, which luckily paid off. That actually was the halfback, Dupont, that got injured, and luckily they had a halfback on the bench. But 8.5 out of 10 for me from Miafu. 32 minutes he played, 4 runs, 7 meters, but every run he made, you could see he was running over someone. I noticed it a few times with his runs. You know, he's running through people. So every time he's getting over that gain line, even if it's just a meter or two, you know, the Irish had to turn around and then they get the quick ball. He also made 3 tackles of 0 misses, beat 1 defender as well. And a couple of times he was actually the passer at the start of the move where they end up scoring a try. So he did his job. Then we got Jack Conan for the Irish, 8.6 out of 10 in 32 minutes. 10 runs for 42 meters, 1 clean break, 1 defender beaten, 2 tackles with 1 miss. 8.6 for me in 32 minutes because, you know, if you watch the end of that Irish game, when the Irish went down, I think by about, you know, it would have been like 19 points, 3 tries nearly. When the French just scored again, I think maybe that try from Biabire where he did a grubber kick through, you know, all the Irish players' heads drop. Who was the person making all the runs? Jack Conan. So bravo to him again. Yet again, done it. Great impact off the bench, but unfortunately not in a winning effort this time. Then you got Ben Curry for me, 8.6 out of 10 in 36 minutes, 3 runs, 21 meters, 1 clean break, 1 defender beaten, 1 try assist, 4 tackles of 2 misses, but 3 turnovers, 1. He's just a ball hawk. His really, really, you know, obviously his skill around the ruck has gotten better and better the older and older and the more and more he's getting experience. Then in at 22, the man of the moment, the man who saved the day for the French, coming on for injured Antoine Dupont after 28 minutes, 9 out of 10. Maxime Lucu, 2 runs, 11 meters, a defender beaten, 1 try assist as well, 10 tackles of 0 misses, and a couple important tackles as well, should I say. He nearly scored that try as well that Biabire kicked through. He was right there to score it, but Biabire wanted it more, and he got it. So brilliant by Lucu. His kicking was brilliant as well. Like his clearance kicks from the 9 position was, you know, he was making 40 meters on kicks. So brilliant game by him. And it's well deserved. I think at Bordeaux, he's been playing pretty well. And Marcus Smith coming on for the injured Ollie Lawrence, moving to fullback, 8.4 out of 10 in his 72 minutes for me, 9 runs, 52 meters, 1 clean break, 5 defenders beaten. He also scored a try.
Powerful man, heaviest man in this England team. Genge on there too. Tom Curry, the offload to Marcus Smith. The step from Smith. And Marcus Smith is back.
And 4 tackles and 1 miss, but 2 turnovers conceded. He had a good game. And I don't mind him at fullback, to be honest. He's looking to attack. Since moving to fullback, he's running. You know, whenever he's at the back, he's just looking up and he's running. He's not looking to kick first, he's looking to run first. And I think that's what England sometimes needs, is just that counter-attack, getting their forwards back on, because the English pack is just so good and strong and big that all you need is that fullback probably to get that ball back up to where you are. Saves you having to turn around and run back. But good game by Marcus Smith. So that's the team for me. Most standout players for me, Louis Biarrier on the left wing for the French. And then in the forwards, Faletau from the Welsh with an absolute monster game. And if you've watched this long, you might as well hit that subscribe button right below the video. Hit that subscribe button. Also, let me know in the comments below who you would change. Who would you bring in? Who would you take out? Who would you swap out? I mean, there's no right or wrong answers, because at the end of the day, it's, you know, it's your own choice. So it'd be interesting to see who you would change or however you want to do it. And also like the video if you've watched this long. It helps with the algorithm as well. But thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Have a good night.